I've seen some of you asking me, why did Pluto get demoted to Dwarf Planet, but Mercury did not? This gets asked a lot. Basically, Pluto was declassified as a planet because the three categories that are required in order for something to be a planet, Pluto does not meet one of them. And one of these categories is it must have cleared its orbit of all surrounding objects. Unfortunately for Pluto, its orbit is in a region of space called the Kuiper Belt, which consists of large numbers of bodies that are very similar in size and mass to Pluto. And I've heard some people say, well, technically Mercury's neighbourhood is dominated by the Sun, and it's barely bigger than the Moon, so why is that considered a planet? Simple reason for this. Unlike Pluto, which hasn't cleared its neighbourhood of asteroids and surrounding bodies, Mercury's orbit is fairly asteroid-free. There are some asteroids that circle near to Mercury, but they're very rare. Most of them end up falling into the Sun, whereas Mercury's orbit is completely clear. And unfortunately, the Sun is the centre of the solar system. It doesn't orbit around it. Mercury meets the three categories in order to be classed as a planet. It orbits around the Sun. It has sufficient mass to assume hydrostatic equilibrium. In other words, it has a nearly spherical and round shape. And it has to have cleared the neighbourhood around its orbit. There are no asteroids around Mercury's orbit, whereas there are loads of bodies surrounding Pluto's orbit. It's the same case with Ceres, which is between Mars and Jupiter. When it was discovered, it was just assumed to be a very small body and was just another planet that had not previously been spotted. But as time went on, we started discovering lots and lots of bodies similar in size and mass to Ceres, such as Vesta and Juno. For Ceres to be considered a planet, all those asteroids would have to be much further away from its orbit, or just not exist entirely. Here's another way of looking at it. Mercury is the only object of its kind in its area of the solar system. It's not like there are similar Mercury-sized objects around Mercury's orbit. It's one of a kind of its region. Pluto is not, and neither is Ceres.